Hey guys, what's up? It's Bronson75 here and welcome back to my channel. So today, I'm continuing my retrospective on the Mega Man X series, in which I'm going to be playing every single mainline game, with the exception of some spin-offs. And this time, we are tackling the second game in the series, which is Mega Man X2, the sequel to Mega Man X1, which I have started this retrospective with a couple of weeks ago, so feel free to check that video out. Feel free to check that video out if you haven't already. But yes, we are going to be tackling its sequel, which also released on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And this game has been claimed by many to be one of the best X games, and I can kind of see why. It's one of my favorites too. Even though I don't play this game as much as X1 or X3, which by the way is my personal favorite. It's not until I started doing practice runs on this game in preparation for this video, as gonna give a quick disclaimer for those who just so happen to be watching this video for my channel for the first time. But all the Mega Man retrospective videos, like on both this series and the classic series, which I recently completed, they are not casual playthroughs, as I will attempt speedrunning tricks and some potential glitches as well, as I personally believe that playing casually is very boring, and I don't really find it to be as fun as the devs trying to make it to be. So that's why I prefer to utilize speedrunning strategies that I have learned from the speedrunners, which I will be getting into later on in this video. And also, before we start, I unfortunately have to showcase the Legacy Collection versions of these titles, because like the classic Legacy Collections, the X Legacy Collection has a museum that I will be showcasing at the end of almost every video. But yeah, that'll be more it'll be more on that later. But anyways, without further ado, let's go on and get started with Mega Man X2 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Let's do this. And there's an opening cutscene, so I am going to take my time to read it. Capcom. It has been 6 months since the destruction of Sigma, and little has changed. The Maverick revolt started by Sigma is over, but Mega Man X and the new generation of Maverick hunters have yet to destroy all of Sigma's followers. Led by information gained by Dr. Kane, Mega Man X and the rest of the hunters have tracked the last of the Mavericks to an abandoned Reploid factory. There, they hope to wipe out the last of the Resistance. Little do they suspect that real war is about to begin. I love this music, by the way. Alright, and this right here, Mega Man X2 versus X Hunters. Ooh, I wonder. But yeah, I was gonna say right there. So apparently from what I've looked up, and something that many other reviewers have mentioned. Apparently Capcom had used like this like software device or whatever it is called the CX4 chip, and we saw it right there. We saw it right there at the end of that opening cutscene, to where it looks like the animation of X's head right there was animated through the CX4 chip, and I actually find that to be pretty impressive, especially for this game, for this time, especially at this time, before modern technology. But that's pretty cool. And unfortunately, what that ended up doing was make this game, as well as X3, more expensive, and that's probably the main reason why this game did not sell as well as X1, unfortunately. But yeah, it's rather surprising that Mega Man 7 didn't do that, and that game also wasn't able to sell well either. So not sure what to do with that. But anyways, case in point, let's go on and get started here. And yeah, obviously, so as what you just saw right there, this game uses the exact same gameplay engine as the previous game did. And we even got the same buttons as well, so nothing different there. The only thing that's missing is the sound test. I'm not sure why they got rid of that. But thankfully the Legacy Collection does have the music player mode, so yeah, you're not really missing out on anything, you know, if you just so happen to be playing playing this through this collection. But anyways, let's go on and get started here. So as what the opening said, it has been 6 months since X had defeated Sigma for the first time. Also, there goes the green biker dude. May he rest in peace, unfortunately. Yeah, it has been 6 months since the previous game. Even though Sigma has been defeated, X still has to do lots of work to take care of the rest of these Mavericks or Mechanoids or whichever. But yeah. Anyways, here's the intro stage. So yeah, this is a lot. So this game's intro is a lot shorter than the previous game. You're noticing right now that for some reason X is now capable of dashing at the start without the foot parts that he gained from the first light capsule from the previous game, but more on that later. Anyways, first boss of this game. I forget the name of this thing. I may have to look it up after this video. But anyways, dang it. Alright, I was hoping I would kill this dude before he had a chance to jump, but yeah. I think it's because I fired my uncharged X Buster Shot a little too early there. So that effect from the previous game remains here, where if Dash fires his uncharged X Buster Shot, and if he hits an enemy with it, it does 2 damage rather than 1. I already explained that in the previous video. Now, anyways, we got these mysterious characters here, in which I'm assuming is the quote-unquote X Hunters that the opening mentioned. Anyways, one of these guys is named Sergey's. This is their leader. His name is Mega Man X.
Those who underestimated him are now nothing but scrap.
We won't make the same mistake. He is powerful, but he is blind to what is happening around him.
Our Mavericks will keep him busy until we are ready.
Yes, but how is the plan proceeding?
Collection is proceeding as scheduled. However, we are having problems with the control chip.
We have little time. We must finish construction on schedule. We must hurry.
So yeah, these mysterious 3 characters have definitely got to be the mysterious X Hunters. I'm not sure why they call themselves the X Hunters, but we'll have to find that out. We'll have to find that out in the database and museum menu. Alright, so pretty much in your typical Mega Man fashion, we have our standard 8 bosses that we have to fight off against. Only this time, instead of Robot Masters, they are the Mavericks, exactly like the previous game. So we got Wire Sponge, Morph Moth, Flame Stag, Magma Centipede, Crystal Snail, Wheel Gator, Bubble Crab, and Overdrive Ostrich. And pretty much how it is in most other Mega Man X2 playthroughs and speedruns, it is always recommended to do Wire Sponge first because his weapon is actually one of the best in the game, as it works great for traversal. Anyways, if you wall kick at the start of the stage to the left, you will find a heart tank. So yeah, I highly doubt anybody's going to find that without a guide, as many of the collectibles in this game are very obstructed. I don't know a better way to describe that, but most of the heart tanks and sub tanks in this game are super well hidden. So yeah, so because of that, it is impossible to find them without a guide. So anyway, here we are on Wire Sponge's stage right here, and oh my god, They brought back this gimmick from Toadman stage from Mega Man 4. So yeah, so it's exactly like that stage, to where if you jump while it's raining around here, you will get pushed back. It was also in Tornado Man stage as well in Mega Man 9. So pretty interesting. Yeah, thankfully that's the end of that. And also, according to speedrunners, that's actually a part of the weather effect, and it is affected by RNG. So it's always random every time you enter that section when you play this stage. Anyways, oh my god, that was a super search stage. What the heck? That was like shorter than any of the X1 stages. What the heck? But anyways, here is Wire Sponge right here, who strangely enough doesn't look like a sponge, but okay then. Like, he looks more like a pickle, if nothing else. Anyways, there is a trick that you can do to where if he's low on health, he will get super mad and start powering himself up, and obviously several speedrunners have exploited that, so I'm gonna try to see if I can get it off. Okay, just try not to hit him too much. Oh my god, don't do it. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna wait for it. Okay, hope he doesn't do it. I hope I didn't damage him too much. Alright, get rid of these annoying plant things. Okay. Alright, come on, please do it. Okay. Whoosh. Whoosh. No, I missed. Ah, dang, I almost got it. I almost got him right there. That would have been it if I didn't miss that. If I didn't miss that uncharged shot. Yeah. I almost got it off, but yes, it is possible to kill Wire Sponge before he does his angry phase. And when that happens, he's completely invincible, and it lasts for 9 seconds. And if you're a speedrunner, be prepared to... You gotta make sure that doesn't happen, because that is a 9-second time loss. But anyways, by defeating him, we get Strike Chain, one of the best weapons in this game, and we will be using it for this next stage. Ah, dang. And yeah, already this game has made some significant changes to where the pass-through the pass-through theme just sounds very generic rather than upbeat and peaceful. It doesn't make any sense. But anyways, we're gonna be taking on Wheel Gator, who is often recommended to take on second, because this stage features the first Dr. Light capsule in the game, and it is an arm upgrade. So we are going to be doing that. Here you go. Alright, jump over that dude. Alright, so there's going to be this one trick that's very extremely difficult to pull off. So it's right after we get this armed capsule. Yeah, it's not this one, but it's the other one. Nice, we got it first try. It is the other one that we will be encountering later on. But anyways, here is Dr. Light. He is still in the series. He says, Mega Man X, enter the capsule. This enhancement will modify your X-Buster. With it, you will be able to charge energy in both arms at once. This enables you to shoot a double shot or to charge any weapon. Alright, thanks so much, Dad. So like in Mega Man X1, Dr. Light will still provide X with these capsules, which will earn him with parts. So good stuff. So yeah, exactly like it is right there. So X can fire 2 charge shots at once, so it's very useful. Anyways, first use of the Strike Chain, and I use the charged version of that move, and it essentially acts as a grappling hook. It is a lot like the wire special item from Mega Man 4, which, by the way, it's the only time in any Mega Man game where a character is shown looking up, and in that case Mega Man. But yeah, it's pretty sick. All right, so this is the trick I'm referring to. So can we get this off? Let's go. We got it. So yeah, that trick is a lot difficult than it looks, but thank goodness I got it first try. So yeah, I've done a lot of practice on that. Alright, here comes another difficult trick. Nice. So yeah, take advantage of the invincibility frames, which has since been dubbed by speedrunners as damage boost. It is a lot faster, so doing that trick is a lot faster than running on that platform. So it appears that this is the stage's main gimmick, on in which you have to ride those platforms to progress. But yeah, so like I said, we'll be using a lot of tricks that I've learned from speedrunners, as I'm not one who prefers to play casually, as I find playing casually to be very boring. Nice, managed to get past that guy with the strike chain without him damaging us. Alrighty, alright, come into wheel getting, and I'm gonna pull off another very difficult trick. So let's see if I can get it off. Damn, okay, did it too early, but at least I got a hit in. Okay. Wow, I actually got it. Let's freaking go. Woo! Oh my god. I did miss it on the first try, but I got it on the second attempt. Let's freaking go. I can't believe I got it off in this video. But yeah, the trick that I just did right there, it is possible to stun lock Wheel Gator and prevent him from going back under that red oil thing. But yeah, doing that saves a lot of time, and that trick is also a lot more difficult than it looks. But anyways, by defeating him, we got the spin wheel. But oh my god, thank god I managed to get that off. It is a very, very, very precise trick. I think it's like a 4 frame window where X can actually land a hit on Wheel Gator before Wheel Gator gets a chance to dive back underground. So more on that later. Anyways, third cutscene overall in this game.
I see now why Sigma fell at the hands of Mega Man X. He is quite formidable.
I am not sure our Mavericks can hold him long enough. We may have to intervene.
What are they up to now? Hey, the first appearance of Dr. Kane, who is the main reason all of the Reploids have came about. So yep, this game is his first appearance since he was mentioned in the previous game, and this is the first time we get to see him in person. Anyways, Dr. Kane, what happened?
A group of Mavericks calling themselves the X-Hunters have just contacted us. Greetings! We have all of Zero's parts.
They can be yours if you can defeat us.
We look forward to meeting you, X.
X, Zero's control chip is still stored here. I doubt it is possible to resurrect him without it.
Dr. Kane, I've got to get Zero's parts back. At any cost. I think that's what he said. I accidentally skipped it. I don't understand why the text. I don't understand why the text goes so slow. I don't understand why the text goes so slow sometimes. It's really weird. Alright, let me lower the audio a little bit. I think it's a little loud. Alrighty. But yes, so here are the X-Hunter characters. Or by the way, I think in the original Japanese version, these group of characters, mysterious characters, are actually called the Counter Hunters. So I don't know why the localization team changed it to X-Hunters. Is really weird. Yeah, so we saw on the map, so they just showed up in 3 different stages. So we are gonna be very conveniently, we are gonna be taking on Flame Stack next, since we don't have his weakness yet. But defeating him will give us one of the best moves in the entire Mega Man X series. So we are gonna be taking it. We are gonna be taking him on next, and we're also gonna be fighting one of the Counter Hunters in this stage, who shows up in this stage as well. Alright, here we go. Let's do this. Yeah, apologies if you can hear my fan, by the way. It's really hot in my room. Anyway, here we are right here. So, alright, so there is a sub tank that we do have to get. Alright. Make sure that guy doesn't interfere. Alright, so you can reach this by using the charged up strike chain. So yeah, instead of using that enemy there to reach it. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, I tried to do the trick that I see speedrunners doing, to where you fire the charged up spin wheel at a precise moment, and then that's how you can kill all 3 enemies there. Alright. Anyway, kill that thing with the spin wheel and grab the second heart tank. Alright, gonna pull up this trick. Let's see if I can get it off. Nice, let's go. Putting that work. Alright, so one of the counter hunters shows up in this spot right here. So you gotta manipulate that. You gotta manipulate that second beetle into breaking that wall. So anyways, we're gonna enter this door, and he's going to show up right here. This guy is named Sergey's, right? Yeah, Sergey's. He says,
I am Sergey's, and I cannot allow you to stop the unification. It is for the good of all.
Alright, here we go. So this guy can be pretty difficult. Yeah, that move right there, it's pretty difficult to avoid. He also occasionally drops bombs as well, so we do have to get rid of them as well. Okay, oh my god. Okay, he's in the way. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna do less commentating. Oh my god. Whoosh. 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 Damn, okay. There is a way you can stun lock him there, it's just very precise. Come on. Oh god. Whoosh. Damn, missed. Okay, all good, all good. Come on, dude. Okay, okay, we gotta get rid of the bombs. Damn it, dude. Okay, not going as I planned, unfortunately. He's getting very lucky. Damn, missed. Okay. Damn it. Yeah, I almost got the trick there. There's a way you can stun lock. There is a way you can stun lock him. I think it requires precise timing. Anyways, he has been defeated.
You have merely delayed the inevitable. We will meet again.
Alrighty, and by defeating him, we get our first zero part, number 1. So this right here is kind of one of my, or actually no, I think this is actually my main complaint with this game. I mean, like when you do get all the zero parts, you don't actually or I'm not gonna say just in case for those who haven't played this game yet, but yeah, it does change. You do it does provide a significant change if you get all the parts. However, it does not change the ending for this game. So, anyways, more on that later. Anyway, coming up to Flame Stack, so I'm gonna do this trick right here again. Nice. Yes, I think how that works. Nice. Yeah, so alright, so this trick right there I've learned from speedrunners, but more on that later. Alright, so here comes Flame Stag. And the first thing that he will always do is jump. Is do his series of wall jumps. Yeah, and his attacks are completely affected by RNG, because like after he lands, sometimes he'll wall jump, other times he'll charge up first before doing his speed burner. Okay. Okay, now his flames have, yeah, okay, I cannot predict that. I didn't think he was gonna jump there. Okay. Watch out for his speed burner though, because if that move connects, he will knock X into the air and pummel him back into the ground. It's almost like a command grab of some sort. Anyways, he is dead. Yeah, you gotta watch out for that move though, because again, when his speed burner connects, he will uppercut X into the air and then dive bomb him back into the ground, and that move does a lot of damage. So you better watch out for that. But there we go. Let's go. It's really weird how they changed the sound font for this game, because the one for X1 sounded perfect, so I'm not sure why they thought this was a good idea. But of course, by defeating Flame Stack, we get Speed Burner, one of the best moves in the entire Mega Man X series. So what we just saw right there, so he fires the uncharged version of the weapon, but when using the charged version of the weapon, X does some sort of a fire boost, and he is completely invincible during that move, and it's very similar to the Break Dash from Mega Man 5 on Game Boy, which by the way, I did reference this move in that video where when Mega Man also dashes while charging up the weapon, he is also invincible, and that grants him iframes. So the speed burner is the speed burner is pretty much similar to that move. The only difference is that after X uses his speed burner, it doesn't really grant him iframes, but thankfully it's a lot better than the charge kick from the NES Mega Man 5. But anyways, we're gonna be taking on Magna Centipede as our 4th Maverick. Let's do this. And this stage is very unique on the fact that you essentially have to do stealth, but not really. Since you do still have to, you do still have to make our way through here really fast. Nice. First use a speed burner right there. Nice. You can also use it in the air too, which pretty much acts as an air dash before we get the actual air dash, which is pretty insane. Anyway, climb up here so that we can grab another heart tank. Very nice. And I love the theme for this stage too. It's awesome. Really awesome. Ooh, extra life for the win. Alrighty. Gotta be extra careful around here. Because if you're not careful, there is a chance. Oh! Okay, yeah, that was my fault. I don't even know why I did that. Yeah, it's hard to like it's really hard to get off most of these tricks while doing commentary. Alright, not gonna use Speedburner again because I gotta save it for one of the mini bosses. Alright, let's try again. Okay. Careful. Ah, damn. Okay, I fired that a little too early. Okay. Yeah, I was supposed to wait for this. Okay, wait for these two, then dash jump. Wait for this block to come down. Jump on it, and charge speed burner to grab it. Nice. Alright, so coming up is the first mini boss for this level, in which we're gonna be fighting a CX4 chip animated sword, and it is weak to the strike chain. Okay, another hit should do it. Nice, there we go. We got it. It is possible to kill that thing in one hit, but it is very precise and very difficult. Okay, nice. Managed to avoid those searchlights there. And whoosh, nice. I love this move. It's so good. Alright, we're also gonna use, so it is the weakness of the second mini boss of the stage. Here he is right here. Oh god. Nice, there we go. He has been down. Alright, we're gonna do one last speed burner. Nice. I love that move so much, it's so useful. Alright, I'm gonna do this trick again. Nice. So this trick right here, so if you let go of the if you let go of the shot button while X enters the wall, yeah, you can actually switch to these special weapons. And I think how the speedrunners do it is that they switch the strike chain so that X can quickly come up to the boss door. So very useful. Anyway, here comes Magna Centipede, and his boss fight is unique. His boss fight is unique because he has a move where he will try to take away X's abilities. So he's gonna do that any second now. Okay, not yet. Okay, he decided to leave himself wide open there like an idiot. Alright, come on, dude. Right. And this is the exact same thing that Boomer Kawenger did in X1. He's just gonna keep teleporting around the room. Okay, there it is. That move. So so that move right there, he tries to. Oh my god, no, damn. Okay, that was too close. Yeah, he tries to drag X into him, and what happens is that he takes away. He's actually capable of absorbing X's charge shot. So yeah, better be careful. Alrighty, and he is dead. But yeah, good fight nonetheless. I mean, there are times where I did beat Magna Centipede without his energy, without his what do you call that move? Without his you know, that move that he does where he takes away X's powers. But yeah. Anyways, so by defeating him, we get his ability called the Magnet Mine, which is a lot similar to the Remote Mine from Mega Man and Base. Very interesting. Alrighty, so that's the end of that level. Alright, so time to move on to the next stage, which is Crystal Snail. And we're going to be fighting against the second counter hunter who will show up in the stage, and that is going to be Agile. And I think that one is the most difficult of the three, so we will find out momentarily. Alright, so on to Crystal Snail stage. Alright, so this stage is where I'm going to pull off 2 tricks that will help in saving time. So first off, we got this riot armor, which is a lot different from the one that we saw in X1. But yeah, only this time it's got these spikes on the hand. So anyways, I'm gonna do this trick right here. Nice. Do it again. So. Do it again right here. Nice. Let's go. So. You do need to. So the trick that I just pulled out there. So if you hold the shot button, and then release it, while going off the ledge, the right armor, you can actually tap the jump button to slightly hover with the right armor, because normally if you just hold the jump button, it'll lose its hovering power quickly. Like you'll just drop quickly. But if you tap it, it actually hovers for much longer. So yeah, so that has been elaborated by speedrunners. So and you do need to enter that section in order to get that heart tank. And it's much faster. Doing that trick is a lot faster than using that platform. That platform to go back, the same one that we saw in Wheel Getter stage. Anyways, here is the second counter hunter, and his name is Agile. Welcome, X. Your destruction is at hand. Well, says the guy who's causing destruction, but okay then. Okay. Oh my god, yeah, that move is unavoidable. Yeah, there are times to where he starts to fight by doing that annoying dash attack, and it's very unpredictable. Like, he goes so fast when he does that move. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna rely on my dash shots so that we can do 2 damage to this guy. So you can literally just manipulate him into firing his crescent waves while jumping. Yeah. So, always love the AI exploit in Mega Man games. It's so useful for gaining an advantage. Oh, idiot. Okay, I'm very thankful that he only did that dash move once. I may have failed, but you will never live to see 0. Yeah, we'll see about that, buddy. So with that, we got 0 part number 3. Oh, okay, that's number 3. So I'm guessing Violin, who is the discount Donkey Kong, has the second one. Okay, that's fine. All right, gonna do this trick right here because there's a mini boss that shows up here, but I am going to utilize a trick. I'm going to utilize a glitch to skip it. So fire this. Let's go. We got it. First try. Woo! So yeah, that right there was a mini boss that we skipped completely. So yeah, once again, big shoutouts to this. So big thanks to the speedrunners for essentially teaching me that trick. I never have to fight that mini boss ever again, unless if I want to do challenge runs or whatever. Even though that's very unlikely. Okay. Charge Wheel Getter to get rid of these annoying bats. Okay, unfortunately I missed this dude. Oh, good. Okay, and then go back to Speed Burner. Fire Boost. And here's our second Dr. Light capsule. Mega Man X, enter the capsule. This enhancement will modify your radar optics. It uses some energy, but with it, you will be able to see objects that you could not see before. Good luck, Mega Man. Dr. Light. His name is X, not Mega Man. That's actually the weirdest thing. That's actually like, okay, so that right there is like one of the translation issues for this game, but more on that later. But anyways, so as what he just said there, so this right here is the eye tracker. I'm gonna have to look this up on the Mega Man wiki, but yeah, as what Dr. Light said right there, it will track items that we could not see before. But unfortunately, it's really not as useful as it looks. But yeah, so I think you have to climb up here, and then yeah, you can reach that extra life, that free man. I kind of wish they didn't change the extra life sound effect. Like I always loved it in the next one, but for some reason they changed it for this game. So it's really weird. Alright, so these bats, They are basically the telebots of the X series, where they just do nothing but try to follow you. So they can be outright annoying. They can be outright annoying at times. There you go. Anyways, we made it to the end. Do this trick again. You know, it's always so cool seeing X in that pose while he enters the door. I don't know why. Any, you do this? Yes. Perfect. Alright, and here comes Crystal Snail. He is a very difficult boss. He is one of the most difficult bosses in this game, but there is a strat that you can do to quickly kill him, but I'm not gonna attempt it. So I'm gonna do this the different way. Then he's gonna try to home in on me, so we can dodge. Dang it, he blocked. That's fine. Okay, then he's gonna do this move. Or never mind. Okay, I thought he was gonna do it. All right, whatever. RNG. Alrighty, okay. Apparently this is affected by RNG. Because after doing a series of two damage uncharged shots, he would actually attempt to do his Crystal Hunter move where he slows down time, but for some reason he just chose not to do it. That's really weird because I would have killed him with Magna Centipede's weapon. But either way, we did get his move, the Crystal Hunter, which is actually one of the more useful weapons in this game, and it functions very similarly to the Concrete Shot from Mega Man 9. So we will be seeing it probably in the next few stages, as we're not going to be seeing it much on this next stage, which is Overdrive Ostrich. And for some reason, his design reminds me so much of Scratch from The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know why, but I often get reminded of that character from that show. Crazy. But anyway, here's the stage right here. Alright, speed burn through that dude. Alright, so we're gonna be fighting against the third and last Counter Hunter. He shows up in this area right here. Alright, I'm gonna do this trick again. Nice. Yeah, I love this. I just love seeing X in that pose while he enters the door, so it's really useful. So once again, big thanks to the speedrunners for introducing that trick. Anyways, so this guy, the final Counter Hunter, is named Violin.
X, I shall crush you like a tin can.
We'll see about that, buddy. Okay, we better watch out for his spiked anchor ball attack. I think that move does a lot of damage, so we gotta watch out for that. And dang it, I missed. And he did. Nice. Alright. He gave us a favorable pattern right there.
It cannot be! Now the unification is in jeopardy!
Wow. Very pathetic. But anyways, with that, we got Zero part number 2, and we got access to all of Zero's parts. Let's freaking go. So if you pause the game, yep, we can see that we got all of his parts. Ooh, okay. I just noticed that it looks like they gave Zero new shoulder pads, it seems. Interesting. Anyway, so now we can move on with the rest of the stage. Alright, so this is very annoying. So this is very annoying parts where you can ride on this bike. However, there is a heart tank that we do need to reach that requires using this bike, and it's very precise. So it's coming up right now. Anyways, running on this bike, so cool. This is what he did in the intro cutscene. Do we make it or no? We do not make it yet. I really hate this part. Sometimes you can make it there. Other times it does not. Like it just breaks. So I think it's very precise. So I may have I may have to make a lot of cuts if I don't get this. Nope, okay. Second tries to charm. Nice. Okay, here's the heart tank. Time this. Nice, there we go. Second tries to charm. And then coming up is a light capsule. Alright, avoid that shot from that scorpion enemy. So I noticed that a lot of casual players would just use the charged up speed burner and get the heart tank and risk dying. And yeah, while that is useful, it does not save any time, and that is not something I prefer to do. So yeah, so you just need to push left at the right timing so that way X makes contact with the heart tank. So I personally believe it's better that way, but it does take a lot of practice. Anyways, onto this light capsule.
Mega Man X, enter the capsule. This enhancement will modify your main drive. This enhancement will modify your main drive unit. With it, you will be able to dash in midair.
Nice. Even though we were already able to with Flame Stack's weapon, but whatever, I guess.
Use it wisely, Mega Man X.
No problem, Dad. So I'm guessing this is definitely this is definitely new for, I mean, this is a thing for this game's foot chip. So yeah, we can dash in the air. Alright, dash to that scorpion dude. Yeah, I really love charge speed burner, one of the best moves in this game. Alright. It's rocket time!
Alright. It's rocket time!
And apparently this thing is like a missile that X destroys to prevent it from destroying, I don't know, a certain city. So yeah, thankfully we're able to take care of that before, you know, it could cause havoc. Anyways, here is Overdrive Ostrich, who just appeared from the background all of a sudden. Anyway, so he is weak to Crystal Hunter. Alright, so do this right here. It's over. Nice. So that trick right there is another that I've learned from speedrunners. Even though they do it much more efficiently and quicker than what I just did there, but you can actually hit Overdrive Ostrich twice, even during his iframes. So yeah, so apparently now he suffered the quote-unquote Spark Mandrill syndrome. But anyways, by defeating him, we get the Sonic Slicer, which is a move that I don't really use a lot, aside from weakness fodder. But maybe it can be useful on some parts. Anyways, back to Dr. Kane's lab.
I can try to reactivate Zero to help, but I need more time before you can reinstall his control chip. Try to slow them down. Good luck.
Alright, thanks, Dr. Kane. So yeah, like I said in the Mega Man X1 video, he is the one who found X. He is the one who uncovered X after he was sealed away by his father, Dr. Light. After 100 years, as again the X series takes place in 21XX, while the classic series took place in 20XX. So yeah, more on that later. Anyways, we're gonna be taking on the next Maverick, which is Bubble Crab. Let's do this. I'm in bed. Had to drink some water. Alright, so here is this stage right here. And I love this theme, by the way. It's one of my favorites. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I was trying to switch. But yeah, this theme is one of my favorites, and I'm honestly happy that it got remixed for Mega Man X5, which I will delve into when we get to that game in this retrospective. Anyways, mini boss right here, to which it is weak to Overdrive Ostrich, and nice, we managed to kill that in one hit with the charged up version of the Sonic Slicer move. Anyway, come up here to grab this heart tank. Alright, and there is a sub tank that we do need to get here as well. We got it. Alright, so it's right here. So do this, or no? Okay, hold up. There we go. Got it first try. So yeah, so for the longest time, especially when I first played this back in like 2018. For some reason, I always thought that you had to use Bubble Crab's weapon to reach it, but no. Turns out that you actually have to jump from that slope. and then X will be able to reach the wall to wall kick off of. So yeah, saves a lot of time. Saves a lot of time. Oh god, okay. I'm getting screwed. No pun intended right there, since those guys are literally screw enemies, which I find to be pretty hilarious. Alrighty. Oh my god, and wow. Why are this game's stages so short? Like shorter than X1 stages. Like, what is this? I hope this game wasn't rushed or anything. Anyway, here comes Bubble Crab, and he's actually one of the few bosses in the entire Mega Man franchise. Where he will actually react to what you do. Yeah, just like this. So yeah, so with this you can literally exploit his AI into jumping if you're above him. So yeah, I always love doing stuff like this in Mega Man games. Whoosh, whoosh. Wait. Get out of here. Yeah, perfect way to finish him off with the charged up version of the spin wheel. I don't understand why the explosion animations in this game are so long. Like somehow longer than the previous game. Like what is this? Whoosh. Let's go. Either way though, by defeating him, we get the bubble splash, right? Yep. So yeah, it's an alright weapon. I do like the charged up version of this move can potentially be good. However, its hitbox is not as big as it seems, and X can still take contact damage from an enemy. I don't know. I guess I'm guessing based on their positioning or whatever. So yeah, so it's basically a nerfed version of the Rolling Thunder from X1. Anyways, we're gonna be taking on the final Maverick in this game, who is Morph Moth. And this stage reminds me so much of Junkman stage from Mega Man 7, as it appears to be a junk themed level. And I guess it kind of makes sense since I think this came out. Yeah, I think I said this in my Mega Man 7 video, but this game came out in the same year as Mega Man 7 in North America. And I believe this game still came out, I think, a couple of months before that game. Anyways, final Dr. Light capsule. He says,
Mega Man X, enter the capsule. This enhancement will modify your body armor. With it, you can absorb damage and transfer it into an explosive weapon energy.
Alright. Let's see what this baby is. Love this theme, by the way. Anyways, so this move, yep, is exactly what it is. So X is capable of doing a super explosive wave type move. Unfortunately, though, it is useless as it does one damage to nearly every enemy. Okay, stop, please. Oh my god. Anyways, can I reach this? I know I can reach that. Yeah, there we go. We got it. Alright, so coming up is a mini boss, to which you can damage the first part with Wheel Gator and then damage this bug with Overdrive Ostrich. So can we get this off? No, damn. Oh, okay, I still got it. I fired a little too early there. Okay, I probably should have counted first before launching it, but it's all good. Alright, so we're gonna grab those, we're gonna grab these health pickups. But yeah, this is a 100% playthrough, by the way, since I already just went for the 0 parts. We're also gonna be going for everything so that we can unlock another secret move from Street Fighter, which is another series made by Capcom. A pretty good series for introducing a lot of iconic moves. I'm gonna play it safe right here. Second that, yeah, I'm gonna use charged up bubble splash. So yeah, so here it is. So yeah, its hitbox is not as big as you would expect, as there is a chance that X can still take damage from an enemy. But anyways, alright, do this. 1, 2. There we go. Alright, we got it off second try. Not bad. Alright, I'm playing it safe right here. Alright, this dude's gonna come down. Nice. Of course he respawns. You get out of here. And I'm gonna use Speed Burner to dash through this guy. Nice. I just love using this move to dash through enemies. It's so satisfying. Alright, charge up weapons so that we can get a first easy hit on Morph Moth if we can. Alright, so here's his first phase. Nice. Dang it, I missed. Okay, never mind, we got it. Okay, so thankfully, we did not let him do his ground move right there, or whatever it is. It's over. Let's go. Alright, good fight, good fight. I almost did exactly what the speedrunners did. But there we go though. Morph Moth has been defeated, and with that, we have successfully beaten all 8 Mavericks of this game. And now it's time to move on to the Fortress stages. Let's go. So by defeating him, we get the Silk Shot, which is pretty much a nerfed shotgun ice from the previous game, as whether it hits the ground or walls, it will split into 4 smaller pieces, and they're also capable of hitting enemies as well. Anyways, back to Dr. Kane.
Mega Man X, I've located the X Hunter's base. It's at grid location 00. That's right at the North Pole.
Roger, Dr. Kane. I'm on my way.
It will take some more time to reactivate 0. Slow them down, Mega Man X.
And again, that's okay. The dialogue in this game appears to be, I don't know, it just seems as if Capcom failed at properly translating it, because when we got the head upgrade from that light capsule and crystal snail stage, for some reason he calls X Mega Man. And I really don't understand that. I think this is the first instance of Capcom messing up the translations, and it's gonna happen. We're gonna be seeing this happen in the later games, including the PS1 entries, which is really weird, because like Mega Man 7 already had that problem, and Mega Man 7 already had that problem in the end of that game, but in the X series, oh my god, they keep making that mistake over and over. It's so weird. Anyways, alright, so we can immediately move on to the Fortress stages, as X2, I believe, is one of the only games where you can actually get all the required items without having to backtrack. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. Anyways, I'm gonna pull out this trick right here. Damage boost instead of using that platform. Saves a lot of time. Dang it. Okay, well, I messed up on trying to kill that screw enemy there. Anyway, so yeah, so this is I'm gonna assume it's called Counter Hunter Stage 1. I mean, Dr. Kane did say that this is their castle, so because it's obviously not a Sigma castle, since we already destroyed Sigma, so there's no way he's coming back, right? Anyway, nice. Ooh, nice. Okay, at least I managed to get up that trick right there. Learn from speedrunners. Alrighty. Alright, there we go. Don't respawn. Okay. Okay, so gotta be careful, you know, when playing Mega Man games, as whenever you walk away from a defeated enemy, if you turn back a bit, they will respawn. So best to keep that in mind. Nice. Alright, kill this dude with the magnet mine. Nice. Alright. Perfect run on, near perfect run on the stage if I didn't mess up earlier. Alright. Dash through another scorpion. Why are the stage in this game so short? I don't understand. Anyway, so we're about to face off against Violin again, and he's actually weak to Bubble Crab. And we are going to use the charged up version of the move. since his attack patterns can be very erratic. So we are gonna do this. Whoa! Oh my God! He brought back the disappearing and reappearing platforms. That's pretty sick. I mean, I'm not sure why he even needs those since they don't. I'm not sure why he even needs those since they're not. I'm not sure why he even does this or something. Like it doesn't really help considering that we just now defeated him. So yeah, you kind of messed up on this one, Violin. You messed up.
What? How could he have overloaded my circuits? Arrgh!
Yeah, that's your fault. Like, why do you just spawn these platforms? Like, that's obviously not going to assist you in this fight, dude. Like, goodness. But yeah, they decided to bring back this well-known gimmick from the classic series, and thankfully, this game is one of only 2 times in the entire X series where these show up. The other is Mega Man X5, but more on that later when we get to that game. So anyways, that was it for Counter Hunter Stage 1. Now we're gonna move on to Stage 2. And this is also an extremely short stage, especially if you speedrun. Yeah, there is this one trick that is very difficult and one that I'm not going to attempt to do in this video. But there is a way to reach this one platform without needing to wait for it, but it requires a lot of practice and memorization and timing in order to get it off. So I have yet to do it, so I'm not going to do it in this video. It is very difficult. I haven't even mentioned this yet, but the cool thing about the Magnum Mine is that you can actually aim it upwards and downwards. I actually forgot to bring that up, but yeah. Anyways, here it's this trick right here. So I think what those speedrunners do is that they use the charged speedrunner and then they do the splash jump. They do the splash jump off the water so that way they can be able to reach this thing right here, like this brown missile thing. I don't know what it's called. And yeah, that does help save a lot of time, but it is very difficult. I've attempted it many times. It's just very difficult to get off. So for that reason, I'm not going to attempt it. But again, like I said, this is a very short stage. Like, was this rushed or something? Like I don't understand why most of these stages are so short. Most of these stages are so short. Anyways, let's pull off another very difficult trick right here. I may or may not get this, but let's see. I might not get this, I fear. Oh, okay, I did get it. Alright, nice. That's perfect. I can get at least one. It's possible to get to. It is possible to get to, but that strat is very difficult. Anyways, up against our rematch with Sergey's right here, and he is weak to the Sonic Slicer. So yeah, I highly recommend just doing. I highly recommend standing under him and using the charged version of the Sonic Slicer, so that way it can easily hit him. Because I have yet to do the trick to where you can actually hit him twice with this move, but you'd have to do it with perfect precision. Anyways,
This is impossible! The prophecy must be fulfilled!
nice. And with that, he has been defeated. Okay, I was about to say, is my mic audio not on? Okay. Oh my god. If that happened, that would have just killed the video. Yeah, so it looks like we are good. Alrighty. Goodbye, Sergeys. Whoosh. Very nice. Alrighty. Alright, so on to the third Counter Hunter stage, where we're about to have a rematch against Agile, the third Counter Hunter member, and with a new theme too. And I find out, and it's kind of a shame that X1 is the only game to have different themes, to have different fortress themes. But starting with this game and beyond, it's always only two themes each. So it's pretty much doing the same thing that that Mega Man 4, 5, and 6 have done. So yeah, anyways, can I get this? I'm trying to do this. I remember doing this before. Okay. No, come back here. Come on, it's right there. Okay, we got the extra life, but can we get this too, please? There we go. I think I remember doing this before when I first played this game. Jeez, it's my first. So this is literally my first time since then. I did first play this back in 2018 when I first became a fan. When I first became a fan of the Mega Man series. Anyways, by the way, that enemy will despawn. By the way, like he just randomly flies off screen. I just find that to be pretty funny. Anyways, so instead of using this platform, we're going to do this instead. Precise wall jumping. There we go. Nice. So I never have to use that platform to navigate up here again. Goodness. So yeah, this is why I always recommend watching speedrunners. This is why I always recommend watching speedrun videos if you want to learn more about these tricks. Anyways, so I haven't even mentioned this yet, but so yeah, that right there is exactly how the Crystal Hunter works. It's a lot like, it is very similar to Concrete Man's weapon from Mega Man 9, where like that weapon, you can turn enemies into blocks and use them as platforms. However, unlike the concrete shot, it does not immediately melt. The only time it does break is if X dashes into them. But yeah, it really helps out a lot with platforming. Anyways, we're gonna come right here and do this very difficult trick. Nice, first try. Because it'll lead to the final light capsule. Yep, here it is. Dr. Light says, "Wow, you are so cool. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy." What? What the heck, Dr. Light? Oh. Okay, he does not act like this, okay? This is definitely out of character. Like, he did not act like this in the classic series, where he would just jump for joy like this. I kind of wonder if this is a mistranslation error or anything. I'm kind of curious on his original dialogue in the original Japanese version of this game, but I kind of think this is out of character. He does not fanboy over his own son like this. That does not make any sense, but still, it's really funny. Step inside for a special surprise. Alrighty, and let's see what this is. I love this theme, by the way. This game has a lot of good soundtracks. Anyways, whoosh, this is Shoryuken! So yes, there is a Shoryuken in this game. So how it works, and for some reason, Dr. Light didn't tell us how to use the move. But how it works is that, let's say if you're facing right, you push right on the D-pad, then down, and then both down and right, so that X will be able to do the Shoryuken. Alright, can we do it? There we go. So so the input for this move is a lot difficult than the Hadouken from the previous game. Cause like in that game, you'd have to do quarter circle forward. And then he gets up the Hadouken, but with the Shoryuken, it's a lot more complicated. So you'd have to do it very precisely, because otherwise you're not getting it off. Very nice. I think it's a lot easier to do with the analog stick. It's a lot easier to do with the analog stick than with the D-pad. Nice. Yeah. Let's try it again. I'm just testing how to do it. There you go. I think it's best if I hold up my controller like this. Nice. So you literally had to do it like this. There you go. So I did want to test it right there. So I've done a lot of practice runs, and I'm just not that good at perfectly executing the Shoryuken. Anyway, hit all of these guys with Crystal Snail, and make it to the boss, which is agile, and very conveniently you can actually hit him with the Shoryuken. So we are going to pull it off right here. Shoryuken! Get out of here. No! This cannot be! Master! Avenge me! Master? Wait, he's not referring to who I think he's referring to, is he? I really hope not. But either way though, but nice. So the Shoryuken is the Shoryuken is exactly the same as the Hadouken from the previous game, to where it will one-shot almost every boss, and of course it also has the same drawback. It also has the same drawback like the previous game did, where X can only use the move if he is at full health. If he is not at full health, and if he gets hit, he will not be able to use the move. So it is rather unfortunate. Okay, we have enough sub tank energy. So yeah, so I do need those sub tanks if I want to get an easy shot against the bosses. In this boss rush, as in your typical Mega Man fashion, we have to refight all the previous bosses before we get to fight against the final boss. And that's definitely no different in the X series, and it has started and Mega Man X2 decided to bring back this trope, unfortunately. So this Mega Man X2 decided to bring back this trope to where you now have to fight all the bosses in one room. So that has been a thing since Mega Man 2. Anyways, we're gonna go up here, as we're gonna be having a refight against Morph Moth. Nice. Alright, let's see if we can get up this trick. Nice. Just bop him right as he dives. Oh my god, but thankfully, Morph Moth does not have any RNG in this fight, so you can literally just anti-air him with the Shoryuken. It's so satisfying. So yeah, glad I got to pull that off. Alrighty, so we're gonna fight up against Overdrive Ostrich, who I believe is also the easiest to hit with the Shoryuken. And again, he reminds me so much of Scratch from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know why. Alright, hit him with this. Get out of here. Nice. Yeah, so how the Shoryuken actually works is that unlike the Hadouken from the previous game, it does not actually deal 32 damage. In fact, the first frame of the Shoryuken on hit is that it does, it does 16 damage per contact, and I think the rest of the animation from when it makes contact with the boss will actually do 8 damage. A speedrunner actually explained that in one of his videos. Anyways, coming up is Flame Stag. Can we get this off? Let's go. First try. You wouldn't believe me how many times I failed at that during my practice runs. But thankfully, Flame Stag also does not have any RNG, because the very first thing that he will do when the fight begins is jump to the left wall. Very satisfying. Alright, coming up is Magda Centipede. I fear I might fail this, but let's see what happens. No, I aimed the wrong way. No, dude. Damn it. Okay, yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, it is like the input for the Shoryuken is not as easy as the Hadouken. There we go. But at least he decided to teleport to the ceiling, so that makes him perfectly open to hit with this move. I get destroyed. But yeah, a lot of speedrunners do attempt to go for the Shoryuken, since it's much faster to kill these Mavericks. Whereas in the task speedruns, I mean, if you're aware of how they work, they do manipulate the RNG by using tons of save states and frame by frame footage to be able to get the perfect pattern from bosses. So yeah. Anyways, all right. So here comes Crystal Snail. So we are gonna hit him first with the Magnet Mine. So yeah. So he's gonna get sent flying towards the wall and damage himself, and then he's gonna do this. Damn. Yep, I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, it's RNG, unfortunately. Like sometimes he delays before he goes back to normal. What? Wow. Okay. I've never seen that happen before. Okay. I don't know how that whiffed. Apparently he has iframes while time is being slowed down. I've never seen that before. Okay then. Okay, a lot of unexpected things happening here. Oh my god. Jeez, now I gotta use 2 sub tanks. Alright, please hit. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I cannot predict that, unfortunately. Yeah, he's getting very lucky. I've never seen that. What? So he's invincible to the Shoryuken while time is being slowed down? I have never seen that. I didn't even know that existed. Okay. I've been playing this game for almost 8 years. I've never seen that. I didn't even know he's invincible during that. Okay then. Like he was right there and I still missed? That still didn't connect? Never seen that. Anyway, here comes Bubble Crab. Can we get this off? Probably not, but let's see what happens. There we go. So yeah, just straight up manipulate him. Just for an easy Shoryuken hit. Jeez, that was weird right there. Like the fact that Crystal stands invincible when he uses his Crystal Hunter move. I've never seen that. So yeah, probably gonna be the funny part of this whole video. Alrighty. So yeah, again, you do need to be at full health in order to get off the Shoryuken, just like the Hadouken from the previous game. And the Shoryuken is a move from Street Fighter, by the way. I forgot to bring that up. Alright, what's Wire Sponge going to do? He's gonna do this. Ah, damn, I thought he was gonna do it. Damn, he trolled me. Oh my god. Yeah, I cannot predict what he's going to do, unfortunately. Okay. Okay, we have the pause buffer. He's gonna jump. No? Okay. Come on, just hang to the ceiling or something, please. No. Come on, man. Okay, that works. Get out of here. Yeah, I thought he was going to jump, but instead he decided to roll his strike chain instead. So, thanks RNG. A lot of Mega Man games have such an obsession with RNG. It's crazy. Alrighty, so I think it's one more Maverick, and that is going to be Wheel Gator. Now, I think he's the most difficult to try to hit with the Shoryuken, since there are times where he rarely attempts to do his Spitting Needle attack type move. But let's see what happens. I forgot to switch to Strike Chain, so yeah, he's gonna dive on the ground. Never mind. Okay, at least I got a hit in still. Even though it looked like I had way less time there. Oh my god, yeah, okay. I feel like he's gonna do that. Yeah, I feel like he's not gonna do his Spinning Needle attack type move, I fear. Damn, okay, too early. That's fine. Damn, okay, I keep firing that too early, okay? It doesn't look like I'm gonna get it off this time. Unfortunately. Damn, yeah, it's a very difficult trick, but at least I got it off cleanly the first fight. Damn it. Yeah, it's very difficult. I guess I'm not getting it off this time. It's very difficult. Like this, it's literally a 4-frame window. Literally a 4-frame window. Alright, can you at least do your Spinning Needle attack or something? No? Okay. Yeah, he's not gonna do it. Unfortunately. Alright, I'm gonna stick with this. No, okay, game. Can I switch to the X-Buster, please? Oh, yeah, he's gonna die from this, so it's fine. It's fine. Oh, now he does it? Okay. God damn it, Wheel Gator, you suck. You freaking suck. I was waiting for him to do it, and now he just decides to do it. Oh my goodness, dude. The RNG of some Mega Man bosses is so stupid sometimes. Anyways, that was the last one. I like how the room starts exploding for no reason. Anyways,
It's been a while, Mega Man X.
What? Sigma?
It seems the X-Hunters have failed, but don't worry. I have arranged for some new toys for you to play with.
So looks like this is definitely the master that's Agile was referring to before he died. So yeah, the big bad Siggy boy is back, unfortunately. So what he said at the end of the credits of the previous game turns out to be true. So he definitely did find another body to do his bidding. So yeah. So like I said, Sigma is the main antagonist of the X series, and he's always gonna keep fighting a lot of ways to return, in ways that overall do not make any sense. It's like the writers always try to find ways to make Sigma be the final boss by coming back through a lot of BS memes. It's just, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense. Anyways, so for some reason for some reason we're back at Magna Centipede stage as the final level. I don't know why exactly we're here again, but it's rather quite odd. I'm not sure why Sigma is using this place, but either way, maybe there's an in-universe reasoning for this, but either way, doesn't really make any sense. Okay, I'm trying to get a weapon energy out of these enemies here. Wait. Yeah, jump down. Are you not gonna drop? Are you not gonna drop any weapon energy? God damn it. Well, the game's RNG decided not to be nice this time. Whatever. Alright, thankfully we did get all of these 0 parts, so it's fine. It's completely fine. Anyways, yep, here he is. The big bad Siggy boy is back. Is that a black 0? What the heck?
Look who I found wandering around, Mega Man. My friend here has a small problem with you. It seems that you let him die, and he's not too happy about that. Now I think it is time he repays the favor.
Oh god! Oh. Okay, here's the real 0. Alright, so it doesn't look like we have to fight against the fake 0, thank god. Because this happens after we got all the 0 parts. Good stuff. But anyways, we got our boy 0 back. He has been revived.
Sigma, you should have studied the blueprints closer. There is only one 0.
Ooh. That is going to age super poorly in Mega Man 03, by the way.
Wait, 0! I know your secret! You're destined to follow me!
Maybe so, but I still don't like you.
Fine. If you will not follow me, then I'll watch you die. Once again.
Even though you weren't there to see him die, since he literally killed himself trying to kill Vile in X1. Weird. 0!
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mega Man X. The greetings will have to wait. We've got to defeat all the Mavericks, including Sigma. I'll take out the main computer, and you follow Sigma. Let's go.
And he does a ground pound.
Here it is, X. Sigma lies just ahead.
Alright, thanks, 0. So yeah, glad we managed to get our best buddy back. Alright, so because I took a hit from that enemy there, we do have to use a sub-tank. So we only got 2 left. Alright, we have our one shot at trying to Shoryuken Sigma here, but not guaranteed. So let's see what happens here. Alright, so here he is. Once again.
You are merely a bothersome insect, Mega Man X. It is about time that I crush you beneath my heel.
Alright, here we go. Oh, okay, it almost worked. Okay, I got 2. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. Okay, he's gonna throw his energy balls at me. He's gonna keep doing that. Yeah, he's gonna keep doing that multiple times. All right, can we get it this time? Damn, and I still missed. Damn it. Okay. Sigma got lucky. All right. Well, I gotta save that for the final phase. Okay. Yeah, it is random. Yeah, it is very random. Okay, better watch out. Yeah, when he hits you with that move, he will send X flying around the room. So yeah, it's really funny how he has. It's really funny how he thinks he's Wolverine. By the way, who is excited for the Wolverine game that's gonna be coming out in a month from now? I will definitely be picking up a physical copy for the PS5. Anyways, that was it for First Form Siggy, but it's not over yet. As whoa, what the heck? What is this? But anyways, let's see if we can get this off. Okay. I'm trying to manipulate him into going into the air. Oh my god. I'm scared. I'm scared I'm gonna mess it up. I'm scared I'm going to mess this up. Huh. Okay, perfect. Can we get this? Please don't mess this up. It's over! Let's freaking go. Get out of here, freaking Sigma. I don't know why. I think this is what he was referring to in the previous game. I think this is the spirit that he just turned into after we defeated his first form. But nice. And yeah, you notice that he does not have a health bar. But it is further indicated that he does change color the more he takes damage. And another very crazy detail is that every time Sigma gets hit, the background will pixelate. I'm not sure why. I don't know why that happens, but either way, he has been defeated for the second time.
Mega Man X, I have lost to you again. Each defeat only makes me stronger and serves to bring you closer to your ultimate doom.
Bro thinks he's a Saiyan, but the Zenkai boost, like, that doesn't make any sense.
But something is not right. I don't quite understand. Why did Zero? He is the last of the Doctor's creations.
What? Wait, he knows who Dr. Wily is? How does he know? What made him come to that conclusion? What? Was he there in the classic series or obviously not? This is like these series are 100 years apart, but how the hell does he know how the heck does Sigma know who Dr. Wily is? That raises a lot of questions. Like, where did that even come from? Like, who told him this? How does he know that? Okay then. But yeah, that question will be answered in 2 games from now by X4. But yeah, kind of an interesting plot point right there. Sigma somehow knows who Dr. Wily is, since he said during his defeat that he's the last of Wily's vocations. Anyway, joined by his friend Zero, Mega Man X gazes out over the sea. Sigma has once again been destroyed, but X wonders if the fighting will truly end. Was Dr. Light's dream of a world in which Reploids and humans live together in peace merely a dream? Definitely a dream, since he was wrong what he said to Wily during those flashbacks in Mega Man 11. The price of peace is often high, X thinks to himself. Who or what must be sacrificed for it to become reality? And when the time comes, will he be able to do it? The future holds the answers, or is that it? Okay, I thought there was gonna be more to that. But either way, Alrighty, so that was the end of Mega Man X2 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I really like this game, and I can definitely see why many people consider it to be one of the best X games. There are even those who say it's better than X1, and I can kind of see that, but I don't know. I think I kind of prefer X1 and even X3 to this game. As when we get to X3, which is going to be the next video after this, in this retrospective, I'm going to have a lot of opinions on that game, as I think X3 is actually one of the best X games, but unfortunately, I feel like it's the Sonic Advance 3 of the Mega Man X series, where people will always criticize it for its strange level design choices and literally everything else. Like, I just never understood the hate for X3. Like, it's not that bad. Like, it's a game, like, it's the X game that I played the most out of all of them, like even more than X1. But either way though, as for X2, it's a very good game. I do love the soundtrack. It's one of my favorites in the entire series. Some of the stages are pretty fun. I do love Flamestack's level. Wheelgator's level is fun. Wire Sponge is pretty great. I think all of the Maverick levels in this game are really great. However, I do personally think, if I do have to give a nitpick, the X-Hunter Fortress stages are kind of weak. I always found those stages to be very weak because they are way too short. Like very shorter than the Sigma Fortress stages from the previous game, because at least those stages were fun to go through. But for this game's Fortress stages, I don't know, it just seems as if they were rushed. Like speedrunners, like those speedrunners prove that the Counter Hunter Stage 2 can be beaten in like less than a minute. So I don't know. I'm not sure what was going on in the development team or whatever. I mean, especially since that this game came out in like 1994, which was 5 years before I was born. So I'm no video game design expert or anything. But I'm most definitely not gonna call it lazy. I mean, it's obvious that, you know, these games did take a lot of time to develop back in the 90s. But either way though, I still kind of wish that you know, there's more variety to the Counter Hunter stages. So thankfully that is something that X3 improves upon. And another complaint that I have with this game is are the Counter Hunters themselves, where, I mean, I did fight against them, but really they don't like fighting and beating them and getting the zero parts don't really change much, especially the ending. Because the ending is the exact same regardless of whether you get the zero parts or not. I mean, the good thing, I'll say this, the only good thing about not getting the zero parts is being able to fight against Zero, in which unfortunately you're not going to be seeing in this video. But yeah, because like I actually do like Zero's boss fight in this game. Like, his patterns are fun to learn. And yes, and you can use the Shoryuken on him as well, but I don't know if it's possible to one-shot Zero completely with the Shoryuken, since I've seen speedrunners hit him twice with that move. So it's rather inconsistent, or maybe it's just based on Zero's positioning. But either way though, it is a fun fight in my opinion. But really though, it doesn't, like, whether you go for the zero parts or not, it doesn't really change much of anything aside from an extra boss fight. So yeah, not sure what they were thinking with this or whatever. So it's what's led me to believe that, you know, a few parts of this game were kind of rushed. And especially since that Mega Man 7 was made in 3 months, I wonder how many months it took for this game to be made. But yeah, I'll probably look it up at some point after the video. But anyways, it says, thanks for playing, presented by Capcom. And we just saw Zero form the words right here. So yeah, pretty good stuff. So anyways, so as always for these Mega Man videos, before I end off, we are going to be looking at the museum as well as the database. So let's go and take a look at it. Let me get a drink of water first. But anyways, here is the Japanese box art for the game. So it's a lot it's a lot like the one from X1, to where it shows X at the center, along with the Mavericks of the game, and a silhouette of Sigma in the back. So yeah, already that's indicating that he it was indicating that he returned this game. We also got the counter hunters on the artwork as well. Sergei's violin and agile. So yeah, pretty sick stuff. Anyways, we are gonna read this, of course. The year is 21XX AD. Once people lived in harmony with Reploids, robots with the ability to think and feel for themselves, until the mighty Reploid known as Sigma declared a rebellion against mankind and triggered the greatest crisis humanity had ever faced. But in this time of need, a hero emerged from within the ranks of the Maverick Hunters, Reploids tasked with tracking down and eliminating malfunctioning robots. His name was X. X fought back against the rebellion alongside his comrade Zero. The battles pushed him to his limit and made him discover the true power within himself. At the summit of Sigma's fortress, X was victorious at last. Sigma was vanquished and his plans brought to ruin. The battle was not without its losses. Zero was all but destroyed, and the Maverick Hunters were reduced to just a quarter of their original numbers. But for X, there is no time to grieve. The new, fragile world peace needed Maverick Hunters to protect it. And now, 6 months have passed since Sigma's uprising. At first, there seemed to be far fewer Reploids turning Maverick in the wake of Sigma's destruction, but in recent weeks, there has been a sudden surge in Maverick activity. Several Maverick Hunter bases have come under attack and been destroyed. What's more, analysis of captured Mavericks has revealed that they were built with a chip implanted in their system, something capable of brainwashing normal Reploids and making them turn Maverick. Each chip is emblazoned with Sigma's insignia. What are these words? I've never seen these words used before. What the heck? Anyways, the factory creating these Mavericks has been located. X has no doubt that the factory... Oh, okay, I didn't even scroll down far enough. X has no doubt that the factory is being operated by the remnants of Sigma's uprising, so he mobilizes the 17th unit for a strike. X's attack on the factory is watched afar by 3 mysterious figures. They are the X-Hunters, the masterminds behind the recent attacks, who are dedicated to the eradication of the Maverick Hunters. For destroying Sigma and halting his rebellion, X has made bitter enemies of the X-Hunters, and now their plan begins. 8 SA-class Mavericks capture objectives around the world, but is this just a distraction tactic to cover the X-Hunters' true goal? Whatever the case, in the name of world peace, X must once more dive headfirst into the fires of battle. Very nice. And here is X, of course, the hero of this adventure. Since putting down Sigma's rebellion, X has been assigned to lead the Maverick Hunters' 17th unit, but he still regrets that the only solution to the Maverick problem is more destruction. Few understand the turmoil he faces when his pacifist nature clashes with the need to use force to protect the innocent. X is truly alone. He has never discovered the truth of his origins, and even the most advanced technology cannot determine the extent of his full potential. Despite all this, he believes the day will come when the world will be at peace, and he never stops fighting to make that day a reality. His official hunter rank remains unchanged, but there are those who whispered that he might have actually exceeded the abilities of the SA class hunters, like Zero, for example. But anyways, speaking of which, Zero was an SA class hunter who fought alongside X in the 17th unit. He was X's closest friend and one of the few who could truly understand him. During Sigma's uprising, Zero detonated his own power core to save X and was critically damaged, but miraculously his cortex chip was unscathed. Because plot convenience, get it? It is currently being stored at Maverick Hunter HQ, but even Dr. Kane has proven incapable of repairing his Reploid body. I guess that makes sense as to why X had to go for the parts after fighting against the Counter Hunters. Anyways, we got Sigma, formerly the commander of the 17th unit and X's superior. I was about to say Eggman. Formerly the commander of the 17th unit and X's superior, Sigma was hailed as the world's greatest Reploid. His mad ambitions led him to launch a Reploid uprising against humanity in an attempt to create a world just for Reploids. However, X destroyed him and put a stop to his schemes. Now 6 months later, there have been repeated sightings of Mavericks bearing Sigma's insignia. Is that how you pronounce that word? I don't know. Has Sigma really returned? Or is there another enemy hiding behind his name? Nope. Obviously, I mean, we just played the game, so no, it was not. It was obviously not another enemy hiding behind his name. Because come on, we know this guy is going to come back as a final boss in almost every game. So you can't fool us. You cannot fool us. Legacy Collection database. Dr. Kane, the most gifted roboticist of the 22nd century. Dr. Kane's groundbreaking development of Reploids broke down the barriers between robot and human, as his creations exhibited the capacity to think, feel, and make decisions for themselves. Dr. Kane now spends his days as the founder and director of the Maverick Hunters, but he remains a mysterious figure even to those closest to him. And by the way, this is one of only 2 times you see Dr. Kane make an appearance, or 3 if you count Maverick Hunter X for the PSP. But yeah, you don't really see a lot of humans in the X series, because only him and kind of Dr. Light are the only ones you see, but you never really see anybody else. That's not until the Zero series, I think. By Zero 4, where you do see some human characters. At least the classic series. I mean, then again, it did take place in 20XX, but at least we did get to see a lot of human characters, like Cossack from Mega Man 4, Dr. Cossack from Mega Man 4. But in this series, yeah, you don't really see a whole lot aside from Dr. Kane and the Dr. Light holograms. Like, what the heck, dude? But yeah, I'll probably discuss more on that when we get to X3 next in this retrospective. Anyways, moving on. Wire Sponge, a mysterious Reploid of unknown allegiance. Wire Sponge is actually a failed experiment created in Sigma's War Machine factory. He is strangely cheerful despite his violent nature and loves nothing more than to dance and play. Sigma has obliged him with his very own playground, the Weather Control Center, where he loves to alter the weather on a whim. Oh, so that was him doing that during that stage? Interesting. Someone never realized that until now. But yeah, and one of the weather effects, which by the way, as I said when we went through his stage in the game, is affected by RNG. And I like how they reference Toadman's stage from Mega Man 4, where if you jump, you get pushed back. So interesting stuff right there. Anyways, Morph Moth. Moth is a strange Reploid not found in any database. A prototype equipped with advanced circuitry, he may take a lag. How do you pronounce this word? A lackadaisical. I don't know. How did they come up with these words? Most of these interesting choice of words to use, because I've never seen these words used before. What the heck, dude? Like, what was did Capcom read a dictionary or something? But anyways, he may take a lackadaisical approach to his duties, but his abilities are fearsome. He can absorb the junk from scrap Reploids to power himself up. Under Sigma's orders, he has occupied a robot junkyard and is using its scrap to resurrect destroyed Mavericks. Very interesting stuff. We got Flame Stack. By the way, I really like his design, by the way. This former member of the 17th unit defected along with Boomer Kawenger. Ooh, interesting. But vanished soon after joining Sigma. A hot-tempered braggart, he has been using his fiery piston-like punches to set off a string of eruptions across the volcanic mountain range. His plan is to block out the sun with volcanic ash and trigger a new ice age. And again, why does he look like he comes from Street Fighter? I already said that about Torchman from Mega Man 11, but dang, he could be right up there. He literally could be right up there. Anyways, we got Mac the Centipede, a ninja-like Reploid and former member of the Maverick Hunters' Special Zero unit. Has the unique ability to infect enemies with a computer virus and make their power his own. Yeah, so this is exactly what he did in his fight in the game, where the move that he does to absorb X after grabbing him with his tail, apparently it's actually an infection type move, to where he will actually steal X's full power charge shot and make it into his own. So that's exactly what he did in that fight. Centipede was captured by Sigma's forces during the uprising and brainwashed into becoming a Maverick, leaving him as nothing more than a cold, emotionless killer who will not hesitate to destroy his former comrades. He has taken over a computer center and is transmitting the Maverick virus around the world. Crazy. Overdrive Ostrich, who once again is a discount Scratch the Chicken from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon series. Ostrich was once a proud member of the 17th Airborne Unit, but an accident robbed him of his ability to fly, and he resigned from the Maverick Hunters in shame. However, Sigma did not intend to let his abilities go to waste. Ostrich is forever grateful to Sigma and showing him he could be an excellent fighter on the ground. Ostrich has captured a hidden missile silo in the desert and intends to carry out Sigma's order to launch a warhead at Hunter HQ. And that is exactly why X had to destroy it before the fight with Ostrich began. So yeah, so there's your context right there to those who don't know for why X had to destroy that rocket. Bubble Crab, an amphibious Reploid who once belonged to the 6th Naval Unit. His bitter rivalry with Wheelgator left them with a spotty record as a hunter. that makes sense as to why he's weak to Wheelgator's move. He considers himself a pragmatist. Pragmatist, is that how you pronounce it? But that's only a thin justification for his shameless pursuit of personal gain. His only reason for joining Sigma was the chance to get rich. Get rich? Does he like make money off of that? What? Who's giving these robots money? That doesn't make any sense. Currently, Crab acts as leader of a transport unit that operates out of an undersea base, smuggling Mavericks with destinations around the world. Wheelgator. Gator was second in command of the 6th Naval Unit until during a mission, he got caught up in a frenzy of destruction and turned his weapons on his fellow hunters. He became a fugitive, fleeing from the very hunters he had once commanded. Working under Sigma has proven to be ideal for Gator, as he can slaughter and destroy to his heart's content. Recently, he has required the means to enact even greater devastation, a massive land-based mobile fortress, exactly where his stage takes place. Crystal Snail. Where this Reploid appeared from is a mystery, and he is also prone to disappearing into his own shell. Sigma has ordered him to occupy the facility for mining Energen crystals, a new power source for Reploids. Snail treats the entire mine like a second shell, hiding himself away in its safest depths. Interesting. Alright, and mystery characters who are the X-Hunters. Mysterious figures who have masterminded the recent Maverick outbreaks. Their sole purpose is the eradication of the Maverick Hunters, and they have already succeeded in defeating over 100 highly skilled hunters in just a fortnight. What? When did they do that? I guess that makes sense considering their attacks, but still though, that's crazy. With their 8 SA-class Mavericks dispatched to valuable objectives around the world, their uprising has begun in earnest, but who knows what their true goals may be, even though we already saw their true goals when we played the game. It's like they think we didn't play the game first before reading this. Like, what the heck? Anyways, we get to take a look at some artworks. Ooh, I'm debating if I want to use this one for the thumbnail for this video. I just love the pose. Yeah, we'll have to see. You guys are definitely going to see when it eventually goes live. So, anyways, another artwork of X right here. Look at him, ready to look at him ready. Look at him ready to put up a fight against his enemies by holding up his X Buster right there. Yep, and I love the stance right here. I love that stance right there too. Kind of reminds me of what Mega Man would always do. Pretty sick. Kind of looks like his idol sprite in the actual game. Alright, him holding his X Buster in the air. Alright, and this is also a pretty cool pose too. Oh, and this one we saw in the wallpaper for the game, by the way. Pretty cool. So a lot of these are pretty nice. And this is him in his second armor. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. And a lot of people like to bring the fact that for some reason X lost his first armor when he starts up this game. And yeah, there's yet to be an in-universe reason for why X discarded his first armor, considering how useful it was in the last game. But either way, though, doesn't really make any sense. I feel like they just wanted to replace that with the second armor instead. And spoiler warning, this will happen again for the next 3 games, and it'll especially happen again for X3 and X4. So yeah, really weird. Anyway, this artwork is pretty cool. Awesome. Alright, so, and we got Zero with a... Alright, so, yeah, it looks like it's the same design. Yeah, it's the exact same design, but he now has shoulder pads, which he did not have in the previous game. So I think it's the only new part of the... It's the only new part of his new model. At least from what it looks like. But yeah, I like it, so this design is something that we will be seeing for the rest of the games in this series. Pretty good stuff. Anyways, we got Dr. Kane right here, who I don't know why, but he kind of reminds me of Master Roshi, aka the Muten Roshi or Kamen Senni from Dragon Ball. But with the only difference that Dr. Kane is more serious and is not obsessed with trying to sexually harass women. Thank God. But yeah. So, and again, we only see him twice, or 3 times if you count Maverick Hunter X on the PSP. Yeah, more on that later when we get to X3. Yeah, we got Wire Sponge right here. And again, he looks nothing like a sponge and more so like a pickle or a cactus of some sort. So yeah, interesting stuff. And he was essentially SpongeBob before he was even a thing. 5 years later, which is pretty funny. But yeah, and like I said, there is a way that you can skip. Like the move that he does where he tries to power himself up. You know, when he gets super angry and he is invincible. He is invincible when he does it, and that's like that lasts for like 9 seconds according to speedrunners. But there is a way that you can defeat Wire Sponge before he gets a chance to do that. So it helps out a lot. Now we got Morph Moth in his 2 forms, his regular cocoon form and in his second form. Which, by the way, I didn't bring this up, but during his second form, Morph Moth can actually cause contact damage. I think it does like 8 damage, I believe. So yeah, so apparently he has that very annoying ability that the Doc robots from Mega Man 3 had, to where they would cause high contact damage. I think it's like 8 damage or more. Like if X did not have any of his armors, it would actually do a lot more than 8 damage. Like probably up to like 10 damage or more. So yeah, there's a chance that he can't be killed by Morph Moth in just I don't know, maybe like 4 hits, I think. So that is something that you do gotta watch out for. Alright, anyways, Flame Stag, who might be my favorite designed Maverick. And again, he looks like he comes from Street Fighter, where the way you see the fire engulf on his left fist there. Like I swear he would make as a playable character in the Street Fighter series. So, pretty interesting stuff. All right, we got Mag the Centipede. Oh yeah, and also the cool thing about his design, by the way, and what I forgot to bring up, is that he has 4 arms. And I forgot to mention this too during the fight, but Mag the Centipede has a move where he will repeatedly touch his forehead, and actually yeah, we did see it in the fight, but he does have that move to where he touches his forehead repeatedly with one of his arms, and he actually his tail detaches into pieces, and they will try to circle around X to grab him or something like that. I don't know what happens if those tails connect. And speedrunners have found a way to exploit that move. And how it works is that you just when Magnus Centipede starts doing that move, the speedrunners get behind him, and I think how they do it is that they fire the strike chain while wall kicking, and then that's how Magnus Centipede's move will be on an infinite loop of some sorts. I tried to pull it off many times, but I failed at it. I don't know how fully it works. I might have to watch a tutorial guide to know how that trick works. So, like, if at any chance I revisit these games for a live stream, I will attempt that trick, and I will play them on the Wii U Virtual Console, since I'm not going to use the Legacy Collection versions because of the horrendous input delay. But yeah, that is a move that he does there. Anyways, moving on, we got Overdrive Ostrich. So yeah, love his design right here. It looks like he's got spikes on his. It looks like he's got spikes on his calves there. So pretty nice. Oh wow. Okay, so he's still got the rippled feet. So pretty nice. He looks pretty cool. He's like an edgier version of Scratch from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Anyways, we got Bubble Crab right here, who, like Overdrive Ostrich, also has spikes on his shoulders and on his elbow, which kind of reminds me of Batman of some sort. We also got Wheel Gator, who shockingly looks a lot like Vector the Crocodile from the Sonic series as well. It's a pretty good design, and I like how he has frog-like feet for some reason. It's really weird. But yeah, so I'm very thankful that I managed to get out that trick when we first fought against him. Not so much in the refight though. I think I might have fired my strike chain a little early. So yeah, it's pretty funny how he's even weak to strike chain. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why that is though. I'll probably just look into it. Yeah. After this video. Oh my god, excuse me. But yeah. Like I said, it is a 4-frame, like it is a frame perfect trick. There's like a 4-frame window to where you can land a hit on him before he dives back down. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyways, we got Crystal Snail right here. So yeah, pretty cool design. And he's basically Gary the Snail before he was in a thing. So essentially SpongeBob, Gary, and Mr. Krabs appeared in this game before they were even a thing. So yeah, because SpongeBob wasn't even a thing yet at this time. So I just find that to be pretty funny, because we also have Bubble Crab as well, who kind of reminds me of Mr. Krabs. You know, just literally the design and how he's also a crab as well. So I figured I'd bring that up. Anyways, this is Agile, who's carrying what looks like a saber of some sort. I'm guessing this is why Zero started using one, starting with X3, which I find to be pretty funny. Actually, no, because when Zero came in and destroyed the fake Black Zero, it looks like he sent out a crescent wave, and I think he might have used a saber to do it as well. So yeah, definitely makes sense. We also got Sergey's here, who looks a little bit like Dr. Wily. I'm not sure why though. I've heard many people say that Sergey's is essentially a descendant of Dr. Wily of some sort, but in robot form. So I think there are possible lore reasonings behind that. Yeah, pretty interesting design. I like how he's got the
Like I like how his left he has this thing on his left eye. I don't know what that's called. But yeah, pretty sick though. Pretty sick design. And we got Violin right here, who's kind of giving Donkey Kong vibes, but the only difference is that he loves to throw his spiked anchor ball around the room, which is affected by RNG, unfortunately. But thankfully, I got a good pattern out of him in the first battle. Yeah, but this is their artwork. Look at him. I like how Sergei's has his cape, which he did have at the start of his first fight. And we got classic Siggy boy, who thinks he's Wolverine. So yeah, so what I was trying to do in that fight is that I was trying to bait Sigma into doing his dive bomb move, so that way X can be able to anti-air him with the Shoryuken. But unfortunately, the way he reappears before he does that move is RNG. It's very similar to Heat Man. It's very similar to Heat Man's move in Mega Man 2, where he does his dash attack at 60 frames. Or he does his dash attack either at 30 frames, 60 frames, or 90 frames. I'm not sure. I don't know how it is for Sigma though, but there are times to where he dives down immediately. Other times he delays, because otherwise, if he dived down immediately, I would have been able to hit him with a Shoryuken, so that he wouldn't keep throwing his five homing energy balls at X. So yeah, so that's always the most annoying part of this fight. Yeah, I would have gone not, but unfortunately, it's affected by RNG. But either way, though, you have to watch out for when he dashes and tries to slash X with his claws, because if that move makes contact, he will send X flying around the room, and it's pretty brutal, kind of. Like I'm kind of surprised that doesn't do a lot of damage, but yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and no artwork for his spirit form, like that weird CX4 chip, form that he turned into after X destroys this form. But yeah, it's kind of weird. It's honestly kind of weird, but also cool at the same time how they were able to animate some effects, like X's head at the opening cutscene. The sword mini boss that we fought in Magnet Centipede stage, and Sigma's virus / spear form, or whatever that was. But yeah, it's a good thing that we're able to Shoryuken the hell out of that form. Anyways, the scorpion bot that we've seen in some stages, this weird zombie looking mini boss that we saw in Morph Mod stage. Oh yeah, and I just now realized this enemy is actually a mix of 3 different enemies from X1, where the head on the center is actually one of the pickaxe enemies from X1, who appear in a couple stages in that game. There are 2 Mets next to it, and this body in the middle is actually one of the Mr. Puff-like enemies that we saw in Launch Octopus's stage, and this wheel enemy we saw in a few stages, by the way, like in Chill Penguin stage, for example. Yeah, I don't know how I never realized this until doing practice runs on this game. It's a pretty cool detail. Alright, and this enemy, which I once speed burnered through, by the way. Is that pretty cool? And we got this enemy that we saw in a few stages, like Overdrive Ostrich and Counter Hunter stage 1. This frog-like enemy that we've only seen in Wire Sponge's stage. I like how he has his blue baby with him, which kind of reminds me. He kind of reminds me of the frog enemies that we saw in Bubble Man stage from Mega Man 2, which, by the way, you can't skip with precise jumps while riding the item too. Oh, and this thing that's dropped by those flying enemies in Wire Sponge's stage. I don't know if these things attack you or anything. I never give them a chance to do anything. But yeah, they just appear and just try to, I don't know, emit electricity. That's pretty much it. Anyways, this whale mini boss that we saw in Bubble Crab stage, which you can one shot with either the charged Sonic Slicer
or with the super explosive wave Giga attack. Is that pretty nice? And also these octopus enemies that show up in that stage as well. Oh my god, let me get a drink of water. Oh yeah, and this is the enemy I was talking about seconds ago. But these are the guys who would drop these capsule things. And one of the things that they will drop will cause this thing to spawn. There's another that they drop. There's another capsule that they drop to where they will sometimes instead spawn. Oh my god, I cannot speak. What is wrong with me? They will sometimes instead spawn another. They will sometimes instead spawn a different enemy, which will try to grab X by the head and drop him into the spikes. I've actually had that happen once during my practice. I actually forgot that happens. But yeah, I don't know if there's artwork of them there. I don't know if there's artwork of them here. Alright, we got these screw enemies that we've seen in a few stages. This enemy that we've seen only in the intro stage, I believe. I could be wrong. Alright, and these enemies right here that will try to grab the walls and try to crush X as he wall jumps. But thankfully there was a trick that I did do in Counter Hunter Stage 1 to where you can kill them with Morphmoth's weapon. Oh yeah, this thing that we saw in Wire Splitter Stage, I just remember what that is. Oh wow, there's artwork for the CX4 chip sword. Yet there isn't one for Sigma's Spirit form. That's really weird. But yeah, so there are ways that you can kill this thing in one hit, either with a precise timed strike chain or with the Silk Shot, which is Morphmoth's weapon. Very nice. The Storm Eagle-like enemies that we saw in Wheelgator stage. These disc-throwing enemies that we saw in that stage as well as in other stages. This Rhino-like enemy that we saw in that stage too. These things, which thankfully I was able to skip in the intro stage. We also saw one in Flame Stack stage as well. And these enemies that we see in a lot of stages. These annoying bat enemies, which are basically the telebots of the X series, to where they would just do nothing but be annoying and follow you all over the place. So yeah, thankfully we're not going to be seeing them in X3. Thank goodness. Alright, these grasshopper-like enemies, which kind of look like the ones that we saw in Brightman stage for Mega Man 4. But yeah, thankfully these enemies are not as annoying as it seems. I mean, they do try to grab X by the head and just make him jump repeatedly and whatnot, but thankfully we didn't have to deal with them. And there are the pink variants, in which I think might be stronger. I don't know. They just pretty much do the exact same attack. And this enemy type, I think we've seen a few stages. Or wait. Oh no, these are the flying enemies. Okay, not these ones. These are the ones that try to grab X by the head. See, I can't believe I got that wrong. And this one we've seen in a few stages, like Mag the Centipede and Counter Hunter Stage 1. This enemy that we saw in Flame Stack stage, there's only two that we see in the entire game in that same stage. And this enemy that we saw in Bubble Crab stage, this enemy that we saw in Mag the Centipede stage, which will trigger if X passes one of these searchlights. Oh my god, excuse me. And this is the mini boss that happens at Crystal Snail stage that we ignored completely by doing a trick. So I didn't have time to explain it there, but what I did to skip this mini boss is that you can actually skip what I did to skip this mini boss is that there are actually multiple ways that you can skip the mini boss, but what I just did is that I fired an uncharged speed burner to cause a significant amount of lag. So that way it would be enough to cause the boss to not load in properly. And I'm pretty sure you can see it if you slow down the video footage. But you can actually see it spawn in and will actually fail to load in properly for the fight to trigger, and because of that, X can bypass it without needing to fight it. And again, that is another trick that I've learned from speedrunners, and thank God that glitch exists so that I never have to fight this annoying thing ever again. Cause when I first played this game back in 2018, I hated fighting against this thing. Like, it takes way too many hits to kill, even with the right armor. Like, even with the right armor, it still takes a lot of hits to kill, and it's just more of a time waster than anything else. So, big thanks to the speedrunners for teaching me the trick to skip this boss. So I never have to fight this thing. I never have to fight the mini boss in Crystal Snail stage ever again. It sucks. It really sucks. Alright, so this enemy, we only saw this enemy we only saw twice in the opening stage and in Encounter Hunter stage 1, in which unfortunately X cannot destroy it. But if it sees X try to pass by it, it will try to grab him, and it will just throw him to the other side. It doesn't really cause damage, so don't really know what's the point of this thing. I don't really know what's the point of this enemy, but either way, it's just there. And okay, I just realized I almost couldn't recognize this enemy, but these are the enemies that we saw near the end of Flame Stack stage. Oh my god. Okay, so this is the enemy that I mentioned. So this is one of the enemies that's that gets spawned by one of the flying ones in Wire Sponge stage. So this is the one that will try to grab X by the head and and they even change his gravity. So yeah, so where if X tries to jump, he will immediately get dropped by a rock and land on the spikes and get killed. So it's best to take care of these nuisances if they show up. Alright, so we got this Mechanolite in his right armor, which we did see in Wheelgator stage and in Crystal Snail stage. And okay, this is one of the enemies from that stage 2. The second mini boss that we fought in Mac the Centipede stage, which by the way, you saw when I was navigating through that section before this guy appeared. There is this tracker that tries to follow X, and if it successfully detects him, it will scan him and it will power up this mini boss. But thankfully that did not happen during the playthrough, but that is something that does happen. So I believe it does make him, like, I don't know, slightly more powerful. And he is weak to Flame Stack, by the way, which I did showcase there. Alright, so another robot's on a bike that we did see in Overdrive Ostrich stage. And this hanging enemy that we saw in Morphmoth stage. Alright, and we got the opening. We got the opening stage boss right here too. My god, he's huge. Anyways, we got X on his jet ski bike. Yeah, we got X on his bike. That's which he does use in the opening stage. And here's the bike without X on it. And we also got X in the ride armor. And it's really cool how, as I said in my Mega Man 4 video and in my Mega Man X1 video, where there was artwork that was shown in the classic Mega Man Legacy collection of Mega Man using some sort of a ride. There was this unused concept artwork of Mega Man using this machine that looks a lot like a ride armor. So yeah, it's really interesting how Capcom saved it for the X series. But yeah, pretty cool stuff, and look how serious he is with it. And there is a cool and I did show in Crystal Snail stage where there is a trick to where you can make there's a trick that you can do with the right armor where you hold the shot button, release it while going off the ledge to where the right armor will thrust forward, and you can actually tap the jump button to make it hover for longer. And I did it once again when going back after getting the heart tank there. And it's much faster than using the platform, so helps save a lot of time. And what's this? I'm assuming this is artwork for, I don't know, this like Reploid City. I have no idea what this is. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. I don't think we saw this in the game, I don't think. You guys are gonna have to inform me in the comments below because I do not recognize that. Anyways, we got X with a smile on his face. That's very rare. You don't really see X smile that much. Yeah, look at him though. He's so chill. Very chill. And now he's gone back to locking in, as he should.
And I think this is him dashing while firing either an uncharged X Buster shot or a charge shot. Yep, and this is him firing the charge shot. Very nice. And this is him dashing. And I forgot to mention this. throughout the playthrough, but yeah, for some reason X is now capable of dashing without the foot parts from the last game. And pretty much like him losing the armor from the first game, there is also no in-universe reasoning or justification on how he's able to do this, because if he's able to dash like this without the foot parts, then he should have been able to do this from the beginning of X1. So that's what's leading to believe that this was intentionally done for gameplay purposes rather than for story reasons. And I'm guessing I know for a fact that a few articles have mentioned that like he has the emergency system thing. Hold up, let me look it up real quick. Yeah, so I did look at some pages that apparently some articles have mentioned that he has the emergency acceleration system upgrade. I think that's pretty much the only reason that we can get out of him being able to dash from the start of this game. But I don't know. I would love to hear from Capcom themselves though. Like, I know the out of universe reasoning for why he has to dash at the start is because this game's levels were designed around it, but I want to know the in universe reasoning for why he's able to do this. So the closest we can get to that are, I don't know, some these fan pages and websites of the emergency acceleration system. So that's just pretty much it. Anyways, moving on. Alright, so this is him using the helmet upgrade, which will allow him to detect hidden items as mentioned by Dr. Light. And this is him getting the foot parts, which allows him to dash while in the air. Good stuff. And this is him using the Giga attack, which is the super explosive wage, which unfortunately is very useless. You only got to see. I only ever used it, or actually, no, I never actually used it once. It's just X just decided to show us the players how to activate the move, but after that though, never used it. It's useless. You can also use it to one-shot the mini boss in Bubble Crab stage, but again, even then though, you would need the Giga energy to be full in order to use the move. So instead, just use Overdrive Ostrich's weapon. Anyways, so this is him with the arm upgrade. And this is him firing the double charge shot, which a lot of people have mentioned that this game has the second best charge shot, or the second best arm upgrade in the series, to where X can fire both shots. X can fire 2 charge shots at once. And it's such a shame that it got changed. It's such a shame that X3 decided to change it for whatever reason, but thankfully you can still do it in X3, just not instantaneously like in this game. So more on that later, but yeah, it's really sick though. And I'm honestly glad to see that that they brought that back for Mega Man ZX for the Nintendo DS. So good stuff. Anyways, artwork of X in his second armor. Oh wow, pairing him with Bubble Crab of all people? Alright. Seems like a random choice. Artwork of Zero's backside. Oh wow, he even has a C-saber on his back. Okay, I actually never noticed that until now. Even though I feel like I should. Anyways, more backsides of the other Mavericks. So, nothing more to say on this. So I think they're doing this for everybody, including Siggy Boy right here with his Wolverine claws. Ready? And concept artwork of some enemies. And that's it. Wow, that's it. All right. Okay, I thought there was gonna be more, but looks like that's it. But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for my video on Mega Man X2 for the Mega Man retrospective. So before we end off, oh my god, where is the? Okay, here's the music player. I got lost there. All right, what are we gonna listen to as I do this conclusion? What's my favorite track in this game? I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, I do like this theme.
it's this one. Yeah, I like this game, so we're gonna have this play while I end up the video. But anyways, guys, that is gonna be it for Mega Man X2. Like I said, a very good game. It's a game that I would recommend to a lot of people. I don't think it's better than X1. I still find X1 to be a better game than this. I even find X3 to be better, which thankfully X3 does fix some of the problems that this game has. So I will be addressing that when I do that video next as part of this retrospective. So yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I don't know how long this video is going to be by the time I finish editing it. It may be around 2 hours like the last video, but yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, so you guys feel free to leave your thoughts on this game in the comments below, and I will definitely answer them as much as I can. And I'll also be putting some shorts clips. I'll also be putting out some shorts of this game as part of my practice runs. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna be the end of this video. So the next video for the Mega Man X retrospective will be Mega Man X3 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. So anyways, hope you guys are having a good day, night, evening, depending on which time zone you're in. And I will see you all in my next video. So peace out, take care, and stay safe.